Okay, welcome back to the Ankle Breaker Podcast, episode 41, and this is another episode in. We're coming close to the end of the year now, where it's like the podcast only has limited episodes left, and which is sad because the podcast has come a long way this year and it's grown pretty well. But we are nearing an end for the year. But of course, back again this week. It's Rugby League Round Up. So good to have the co-host back here again, and. Hey Ben, Billy, it's good to see you. And Dragons got a good win yesterday.
Yeah, I've been really good. Other than the Dragons win, it's been quite eventful this week. My brother made it through to his soccer grand final, and we went out to Canterbury Leagues Club later yesterday night, and it was quite good to be honest. Best weekend I've had in a while. So yeah, I've been pretty good. How about you, bro?
Yeah, that's good to hear. I'm glad you had a good weekend. And I've been all right. Just I guess Saturday, going to the game, I was expecting the loss to be honest, but other than the Manly loss, it was good to just go to the final game of rookie. And I think a lot of things happened there actually. Like there was a good tribute to all the departing Manly players like Four and Tapau, Walker. So I think despite the loss, it was good to meet up with a couple of new people as well. So I've known from YouTube. So it was a good weekend actually. Mine was definitely decent. But hello to the chat, and it's good to see a lot of people in here right now. Got 8 people watching, and so it's good to see a bit of an audience build up. So we'll go through who's here. So got CJ Moxley, a very loyal fan of the channel. He's keen. Got Luke Melbourne Storm fan here as well. Congratulations to your Storm Friday. Got Warriors in our off Nags here as well. How's it going for Natix? Code Games PlayStation here as well. Jason Reader, good to see you, mate. And we've also Fifth Natix again up there. And CJ says, I graduate in 1 month from now. I can't wait, lads. Yeah, you were telling me about that. So congratulations, bro. That's good to hear. And that's pretty much everyone here so far I can see. So that's good. That's good. What's this? No, hang on. What does this say? No podcast soon for the rest of the year. Monday's ruined. Yeah. Well, look, there could be a special edition podcast maybe sometime in the off season, but yeah, unfortunately, it does come to an end pretty soon. Unfortunately. Look, good to see a couple of people watching the stream, and looking really a good episode. A lot of topics to talk about, and a lot of things to get into. So, Rugby League Round Up, are you ready?
Yeah, let's go.
All right. So, as always, we start with the round it was and reviewing how the round went. And round 23 was obviously a very, very, very well. Where should we start? It was just all one-sided games, apart from Knights, Raiders, and South Penrith. But I've never seen a round this bad where it's been like 40 points, 50 points, 60 points, and even 70 points in one weekend. Like, I just can't believe that happened. And I was expecting a better round, like a more of an even sort of round, and now it's like, it's a bit ruined actually, with all the big score lines and the just the lopsided score lines, and obviously bigger sides smashing the smaller sides and all that. So that's where I think it was a bit boring. But would you agree on that, Billy? And what did you think about round 23?
Other than the Dragons win, there was two good games. But other than that, it was a very piss poor week in footy. I think just the scorelines. I don't know how it went from some really close games a couple of weeks ago to this. It was these scorelines. How you score 72 points in 80 minutes. That's just I know people like their tries, but just don't like it when it's not a close game, in my opinion. Unless it's the Dragons, I don't like close non-close games. So yeah, not a very great round. And I'll be nice and give it a 1.5 out of 10. I think it was the worst round this year.
Yeah, well, for me, it probably is the worst round of the year. I mean, actually, back early in the year, I can't remember what round it was, but it was a pretty bad round. But whatever that round was, I think this round definitely is the worst one, just because of all the big score lines and everything like that. Like this reminds me of 2021 a little bit, where it was like, we're reaching 60 points every week, 50 points every week. It's just reminding me of 2021 all over again. That this round, so I don't want to see it again. I really hope it doesn't happen again. But it just what a coincidence, eh? Like when the Cowboys smashed the Warriors 48 points before, it just backed up with all these big score lines, etc. I just don't understand how it's all happened. Like it's just this weird coincidence that there's big scores every game on the weekend. Like thank God Rabbitohs and the Panthers was a good game, because I think if that wasn't as good as what it was on Thursday, then this round would be a lot worse. So I agree. I give it probably like a 1 or 2 out of 10. Only because we had those two competitive games where it was Raiders Knights and South Penrith. But look, hopefully round 24 is a better round. I hope so. Second last round of the year, cannot wait. All right, so we are going to move on to topic number 2 now, and topic number 2 is a very interesting one, because I read this a couple of days ago, and I hope it's not true, but there's a chance it could be, and that's filling fullback at the moment since Tom's out. Ruben Garrick, he has been apparently been contacted or been sort of targeted by the Knights to play fullback next year. They're open to the idea of moving Callum Ponga back to 5'8", and they actually tried this back in 2019, playing Ponga at 5'8", but it didn't work the first time. So they must be confident that the second time it could work again. But they are keen to sign Ruben Garrick, and obviously Ruben's been playing fantastic at fullback, and I wouldn't blame him if he got fullback money, because you get a lot more money at fullback than what you do on the wings and all that. So I don't want to lose him. But if Knights offer him a big money deal, then look, he won't knock that back. So what do you think about this, Billy? Do you think he'll leave Knights, and do you think that the idea of putting Garrick to fullback and Ponga to 5'8" works for them?
I don't know. This was big news when I saw this yesterday. To be honest, I was like, "Wow, they're actually offering. Someone's offered him a deal at fullback," and I was like, "Oh, this is big for Newcastle, because if they obviously want Ponga to have his hands on the ball a lot more, and Garrick's a really good player as well. I think this year he's proved he can be versatile, playing fullback and obviously his normal position winger. I actually don't think it will happen though. I really don't think it will happen. I think Garrick will stay loyal to Manly. In my opinion, I just think you know that's the club that offered him a deal to play first grade. No one barely knew him in 2018 when he was with us. Unfortunately, we got rid of
Yeah.
him. No one knew him, and Manly picked him up, gave him his opportunity, and ever since then he's just shined. So I really don't think he will leave Manly, and I think there's much more fullbacks that Knights should go after if they want to play Ponga at 5'8". I think well, even CJ says here Bevan French might be going to the Knights or is going to the Knights. So yeah, well, if that happens, then yeah, I reckon French is I do reckon French is a good signing. So I don't think they need Ruben Garrick at the club, in my opinion, and I think Manly will keep him.
Yeah, no, well said. I agree, and hopefully you're right. Look, as regards to Ben French, I think they're actually going to sign him on the wing, because Edric Lee's leaving next year to go to the Dolphins. I think on one wing they're planning to have Ben French and Dominic Young. That's what I've read anyway. They might sign him to play fullback, but from what I've been hearing, it's all on the wing. So we'll see what happens. But yeah. I mean, that again, Ben French, Ruben Garrick, the rumors are all over the place. So we'll see what happens, I suppose. Um, and Warriors NRL Fanatic says, I can't see Garrick leaving Manly. Well, I hope you're right, because it really hurt us if he left Manly with Garrick. So hopefully not. But yeah, now look, as a Manly fan myself, I really hope Garrick doesn't leave Manly, because he's actually one of the few only consistent Manly players at the club, because I think that most of them, are good, but don't back up consistent seasons, unfortunately, and we've seen that with a couple this year. So I think Garrick's just one of those players that is continuing to get better and better, and definitely getting better in his game as well. And I just think that, like, if you lose Ruben Garrick, then who are we going to sign as a replacement? Now, I've been hearing that Manly might be targeting Braden Best for the Knights as a replacement, so a bit of a trade deal for Garrick and Best. That's what I've been hearing. And if that was the case, I wouldn't mind it, but it's just that he needs to get over his injuries first, Best, before we do sort of make him an offer. That's true. Um, but yeah, like again, Garrick is a player that we can't lose, and if we lose him, then it's going to hurt our club because he's one, a good goal kicker, two, a prolific try scorer, and number three, he's very consistent. So it's going to hurt us a lot if we lose him. But like I said, if he gets fullback money, then I can't blame him, to be honest. But I just want to ask you this as well. Do you think Garrick is a fullback going forward? Because I think he's a good feeling fullback, but as for long term, I don't know. What do you think?
In my opinion, I think he's a fill-in fullback. Obviously, with Tommy Turbo out, he's had the role of playing fullback, and he's done really well. I think people didn't expect him to be anything special. They thought, oh yeah, Manly, they're not going to do well because Trebojevic is injured. But I guess he's really surprised everyone. Not me. I had no doubts about him. I knew he has a lot of talent. And, yeah, well, he's been really good at fullback for Manly, but I think he should stay on the wing. In my opinion, that's just my opinion. So yeah, that's what I think.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think he's a winger at best, but always a good backup fullback. So hopefully he stays, but we'll see what happens. All right, topic number three, and this is probably one that you can obviously talk about a bit more on because it's your club, obviously. But yeah, Francis Molo. So if you're watching the game yesterday between Dragons and the Titans, Francis Molo has been suspended for 2 to 3 weeks because of a tackle he did on Patrick Herbert, and it was obviously a dangerous high tackle, and obviously he shouldn't have done it in the first place. But it's a tackle that, yeah, it's been handled pretty wrong in my opinion because he got sent off for it. Yeah, he got sent off for it. And I've seen plenty of tackles like this been just a sin bin or just a report, no send offs at all. So I don't understand the consistency there because it's obviously very inconsistent what they're doing now with the judiciary. But yeah, he's going to miss 2 to 3 weeks. That's his season pretty much over as well. So he won't be back. And I don't know if Dragons are going to challenge it, but I don't blame them. Yeah, I think it's wrong in my opinion. Would you agree, Rugby League Round Up, that this is wrong and the tackle was definitely handled the wrong way?
Yeah, I don't even think it was a send off. I do think Sinbin would have been a good call. I think he didn't mean to hit him like that. It just happened. I think it was trying to make a really good hit on Patrick Herbert, but obviously he missed him and just got him just on the side of the chin there, which unfortunately it looked bad because the referees and the commentators make it look bad. And yeah, I do feel bad for Francis Molo. He obviously didn't mean to do it, and I don't think anyone ever does. But I don't even think it's a send off. And to give him 5 weeks in total, because he will miss 3 weeks for the rest of this year, and then an extra 2 for next year, or no, 2 for this year and 3 for next year. I don't know. I don't like that call. I think 2 weeks, 3 weeks suspension would have been enough, not 5 weeks. Putting him in for 5 weeks, which I think is ridiculous. Um, yeah, there's been so much worse tackles that has happened, and they resulted in the sin bin. I know CJ's in the chat. He won't like what I have to say here, but Latrell Mitchell didn't get sin bin for breaking Joseph Minu's cheekbone, and well, that just shows the inconsistency between the referees, in my opinion. I think it just there. Unfortunately, there will never be a real consistency because every referee will have their opinion. But I just want to see the right call made at the end of the day, which doesn't happen and much anymore. So yeah, I don't even think it was right that he got sent off. But that's all right. We move on. We got the win. So yeah, I'm all good.
Yeah, yeah, no, that's right. And I do think that him getting a send off is just ridiculous because I was saying this to the green room as well that I've seen so many tackles like that before, and yet they've been called like a sim bin or whatever. So it's just stupid because I don't understand why as a send off. I mean, if it was like a tackle that pretty much caused an injury or caused him to be black out for example, then maybe a send off is definitely something that you could give. But I think just because Patrick Herbert wasn't in a critical condition or wasn't really hurt, I think it's just pretty much a sim bin or a penalty and that's it. But the send off was an over exaggeration in my opinion because I've seen a lot more tackles that were worse than what Moller did end up as a send off, but that one he did was not a send off in my opinion. And just to give him 2-3 weeks as well is ridiculous. I give him a fine personally. I give him a fine on just 1 week at best, not the whole season now. That's ridiculous. So it was a very bad decision, and I agree. I agree with you as well. Actually, the inconsistencies in the whole judiciary and how they work around the suspensions because they are never going to get it right. Unfortunately, I mean, hopefully one day they do, but at this stage they're not going to get it right. So yeah, no, it's just not good enough in my opinion. So. I feel bad for Molo. I really do. Everyone's saying that. Yeah, CJ says Molo is a sim bin only, and I agree. And I think everyone else should agree on that one as well. All right. Topic number 4 on to now, and this is another controversial sort of topic because it definitely did not result well for James Tarmo. And so look, obviously James Tarmo over the weekend when the Tigers lost 72 points to 6 to the Roosters, which was bloody awful. That was awful. And look, James Tarmo was obviously upset that he got sim binned, but Lay got sent off for calling. He called Ben Cummins. What did he say? It was incompetent. Incompetent. Yeah, thanks. Incompetent. Yeah. So he called him a fucking incompetent, and which basically means that you're not doing your job right and what you're doing is wrong. And I'm sure most fans and most people would probably agree on that comment as well. But I guess you can't say it verbally to the actual referee. So, and like he's been suspended for 3 weeks, 2 weeks as well, I'm pretty sure. So he's gone for the year as well. But the Tigers are going to challenge his ban and give him a proper farewell because I think he's going to retire at the end of the year. No other club wants to sign him. So I think it's a fair call in my opinion. I definitely would think that he'd get that much 2 weeks. But look, I don't like Ben Cummins, but you have to get some sort of suspension like that for calling a referee like that. Would you agree? And what do you think about the whole situation?
I guess it was. You can't say these days. I mean, it's just normal life now. If you call a referee that, he's not going to tolerate it, and you'll be sent from the field, which is what happened there. I guess to send him off, had to happen because what he called the referee, and like I said, you can't call the referee that. He probably got everyone probably agreed with him. I think probably would have agreed with him there. But it's just wrong. You can't say it in the field. You got to keep it to yourself. And I don't think Ben Cummins would have liked that much. And I've got him right here on the phone right now, and he just wants to say something. And he says, James Tarmo is nothing but an old bag now. So well, James Tarmo needs to respond to that because I don't think Ben Cummins is very happy with him. So yeah, well, this will be a good boxing match, wouldn't it? This will be a good boxing match.
I definitely think Cummins has lost that one without even touching Tarmo, I think. So I'm sorry, Cummins, you probably lost that one.
Send off.
Yeah. Goodbye, Cummins. Goodbye, Cummins in that case. But you can't say that because obviously Tarmo being so experienced and being like an actual experienced player himself, like he'd understand that. I guess saying something like that, it's going to put him in hot water and definitely give him a suspension. So I know Tiger's going to challenge it, but I doubt he'll get off only because it's abuse to the referee, and you can't say, the word incompetent because that's just saying that that this person can't do their job properly, which is to Ben Cummins. So yeah, look, that at the end of the day, it's his fault, and he should cop it, James Tarmo. But yeah, so Warriors and off Nakes in the chat here. You know, Brandon Smith did the exact same thing. He called it referee a cheating bastard. And obviously a couple of years ago, Adam Finnell-Blake, when he was playing at Manly, called the referee a retard. Um, so yeah, and never will miss a lot of games. So I expect Harmer to get get a 2 or 3 week ban, whatever he's getting, and you know, Tiger won't win that challenge, I don't think, and Tamo has to serve the time, I think. So if he's suspended for the rest of the year, then that's on Tamo, unfortunately. So no farewell Leichhardt for him in 2 weeks' time. Okay, on to the fifth and final topic before we move on to our team of the week and player of the round for round 23. Now I wanted to make this an interesting one because obviously we're not far away from finals now, and finals is in about a good 3 weeks away. So definitely not far now, and it's gonna be great finals because I cannot wait for it. It's gonna be a big thing ahead, as it is always every year. But this is mainly about some of the dark horses in finals. So obviously everyone's saying at Penrith, Cronulla, Cowboys, Storm, all those teams up there that will win the comp and will make the grand final and everything like that. But you got teams like Rabbitohs, Roosters, potentially Parramatta, even though I don't think so. That could maybe cause something during finals. But it's a very interesting competition. Oh yeah, like an interesting sort of final series it will be because I think it's pretty open actually. And Penrith obviously it's Penrith comps to lose, but there will be some surprise in the finals. I can guarantee that. And just want to ask you as well, Billy. Who are your dark horses in finals time? Do you have one dark horse in finals, or do you have a couple of dark horses in the finals? Who are you going with?
I do have a couple of dark horses right here. First of all, I'm going to say Panthers. They're definitely not a dark horse. The Storm aren't a dark horse. The Roosters, I know they're 6, but they're not a dark horse because they've had so much finals experience. The Rabbitohs could be, but also do get some credit. So I wouldn't go with them. And I don't think the Broncos will do much in the finals. But I don't think Para gets enough credit. I know they've had a lot of inconsistencies this year, and people will say, "Oh yeah, they lost to the Bulldogs and they lost to the Tigers." But now that they've made the 8, they don't really need to worry about those games. Now they just got to worry about the big games, and I think they do that very well. The 2 times they've versed Penrith, they've got into their heads. They beat Melbourne at Melbourne as well. So the Eels are definitely a chance, and I definitely think they can get to the grand final. I think I predicted them at the start of the year that they'll make the grand final. I don't know if I said they'll win, but I said they'll make it, and I'm going to stick with that. And I'm also going to go the Sharks. I don't think they get talked about much. I know that they're obviously third on the table, but their defense is it's a full brick wall. You can't break it. It's really really hard to get through. And the job Fitzgibbon has done this year to get the Sharks into the top 4, like Dean Mezzatesta said, we have to go get Fitzgibbon because he's a top 4 coach, and John Morris isn't. Well, he proved us all wrong because I don't think anyone thought they were going to make. Well, not much people thought they were going to make the top 4, but they thought they would make the 8. But I definitely think they're dark horses, in my opinion. They just don't get any much credit at all. So, yeah, it'd have to be Eels and the Sharks for me. And, I think all the other teams get some credit. Yeah, that's just my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, fair enough. That's a pretty fair assessment with what you said there. I don't disagree with when you say Sharks are up there. I don't think Sharks are like a team that doesn't get talked off about enough because I think they do get a credit, but I guess what you probably would probably more likely say is that they don't get as talked as what Penrith and Storm do. So yeah, I think that's a fair point with the Sharks, but I think I might disagree with you on Parramatta though. Unfortunately, I think Para. Now look, I don't like Para particularly that much, but look, I just think they're a bit too consistent, and I think with Para it's just they only turn up for big games only. Like I feel like they take the worst sides, like the bad sides, too lightly, and don't come up with the right attitude and don't turn up the game with the right mindset because Para don't turn up to every game wanting to win because they think it's going to be an automatic win or an automatic victory. Because we've said it plenty of times this year when they played Tigers, they thought that would be a big win on Easter Monday. The Bulldogs and the Queen's birthday got smashed there. So they're definitely vulnerable. And I don't think that look, playing like that, I just don't think that that's good enough for a premiership winning side. I can't see a premiership winning side, knocking off Melbourne, Penrith, but yet losing to bottom four sides like Dogs and Tigers. I just don't think that's something you accept. And it's personally for me, it's not good enough. So I think Para might go to week 2, but like they've done since 2019, probably jumping out finals from week 2. So. But look, as for my dark horses, it's definitely between 2 clubs, and I think it's going to be Roosters and Souths, in my opinion. I think both clubs, for me, are clubs that can win it from outside the top 4. I'll start with Roosters only because Roosters have a quality stacked team. They have plenty of players that have done it before, like Tupou, Tedesco, Kiri. They've got all those star players and quality players around them. So once they click and they're clicking like really well right now. And once they play that sort of form in finals, they're going to be very hard to beat, and they'll actually knock off a couple of big teams in finals. I reckon if they can get it right. And as for South, well, look, if Latrell and Cody Walker can keep playing the way they are right now, then I can't see why they can't go the whole way, in my opinion. I know that some people are saying that they're not any better for Storm and teams like that, but that's not necessarily true, in my opinion. South only beat Penrith, and they could have been Penrith, but a lucky try at the end just sort of won the game. And they've already beaten Storm this year, and they could have beaten them twice this year, but obviously that field goal early in the year was the difference. But South have what it takes, in my opinion, and they're a dark horse for sure. They can definitely win it from outside the top 4. So, yeah, I reckon Roosters and Souths are my dark horses, but yeah, it's definitely Penrith's comp to lose, in my opinion. Would you agree? Penrith's comp to lose?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, Panthers are on another level compared to other clubs. But look, everyone's saying that this is Storm, playoffs, they're all up there, and I would have to agree. And yeah, I'm not convinced in Para either. I've got Rugby League history in the chat. Hello, Dean. How's it going? What time would it be over there in England? Probably like early 8 in the morning. Would it be over there? What does he say? He says, hanging around and Lorenzo drank too much caffeine, and there she was in double-heeled suede there. She was like the Disco Lemonade. Guessing that's another song you've made up there, or an actual song. So Rugby League's musical right there. But no, good to see you, Dean. And we are going to go on to the last quick of the show to end off the podcast. And this is our team of the week for round 23, as well as a player as well. So, as always, it's you to go first, Rugby League Round Up. So, what's your team the round for round 23 and your player of the weekend as well, bro?
Okay, so this week for my player of the round, I've got 2 players. I think I just had to give both these players some really, really good credit and some very good raps. The first one is Junior Ramon. He has gotten better every week since he started playing first grade this year. His first full season of first grade, and he's been absolutely amazing for us. I know we haven't made the finals, but the way he's developed, the way he's come across this year and developed, he's turned into an absolute gun. He burned the Titans yesterday to a crisp, and he's done very well this season. So yeah, he gets a lot of credit, and he gets my one player of the round for me. And my second player of the round will go to Nat Butcher. Now, Nat Butcher, geez, 4 tries. That is a very, very huge achievement to score 4 tries in one match. And Tedesco said in Fox League, he hasn't even scored that much tries in one match. I think he said, and I go, well, that's an achievement, and I guess Nat Butcher deserves a lot of credit for that. So yeah, those are my 2 players of the round, and let's start with my team here. So at fullback, James Tedesco. My wingers are Alex Johnson and Tauta Moga. My centres are Valentine Holmes and Justin Olam. My halves are Junior Ramon at 5'8", and halfback is Nico Hines. My front rowers are Matt Lodge and Big Nelson Solomona. My number 9, my hooker, is Harry Grant. My back rowers, Nat Butcher and Angus Crichton, and my lock is Victor Radley. And then my bench is Cameron Munster, Jack Bird, Luke Keary, and Jaden Sewer.
Yeah, right. That's a good team in my opinion, and I like how you mentioned 2 players of the round there because it's pretty hard to split Amon and Butcher in my opinion. Both of them had good rounds actually. So yeah, no, thanks for that Rugby League Round Up. Good team. All right. Well, as for my play of the round, it was pretty tough, but for me, I'm gonna go with Cameron Munster for my play of the round. I think Munster was all over Broncos on Friday night. Had a world class game. When he had the ball in hand, he was always dangerous and threatening. And it seems like he's a different player at fullback. Like he's not like too different, but he's a lot more sort of threatening, a lot more potent with the ball. So I think Munster is my player of the week, and just in general, he's a freakish player. So he can pretty much play him anywhere, and he'll be the same player. So Munster's my player of the round for round 23. But as my team of the week, my fullback is James Tedesco. My wingers are David Nofaluma and Tautau Moga. My centers are Stephen Crichton and Sebastian Chris. My halves are Junior Ramon as well. And my halfback is actually going to be Cameron Munster, but probably should switch it around actually since I think Mo plays a bit more halfback than 5'8". My props are going to be Nelson and David Clemmer, and my hooker is Sam Verrills. And my back rows are Nat Butcher and Luciano Lua, and my lock is Victor Radley. Then my bench is Api Coruscant, Tui Kamakamika, Royce Hunt, and Hudson Young. So right there is my round 23 team of the week, and also my player of the round there. And Faraz Alam in the chat, how's it going, Faraz? He says Lorenzo tell breakdown Broncos will enjoy free 2 points in round 25.
Me.
Yeah.
2 points, huh? 2 points. Oh God, mate. You haven't forgot. Have you forgotten what happened last time at Kogarah? Did you forget about that? 52 points to 24. Yeah, don't forget about that because that's gonna happen again.
We'll have to wait and see. But until then, thanks for watching the podcast, everyone. Make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and comment. Just comment your feedback on the podcast, what you thought about it, and as well as subscribing to my channel. Guys, subscribe to Rugby League Round Up's YouTube channel if you haven't already. But till then, have a good week, and we'll see you next Monday for episode 42. So laters.